Hello, today I'll be talking about addition and subtraction for first year students. My focus area is to represent and solve simple addition and subtraction problems using a range of strategies including counting on, partitioning and rearranging parts. The key ideas will be primarily joining for addition and take away for subtraction. Before beginning the lesson, I expect my students to be able to confidently count to 100, understand place value, and understand the concepts of addition and subtraction. For my activities, I will be doing a warm-up and explicit teaching activity. For my warm-up activity, I will ask my students to sit in a circle on the floor. I will then write a worded addition problem on the board, such as, one student is sitting in the middle of the circle. 3 more students join the student sitting in the circle. How many students are now sitting in the circle? I will then ask my students to act this out by having one student move to the middle and then asking 3 more to join them. I would like my class to work together to get the answer 4. Extending the problem to include subtraction, I would then write another worded problem on the board, this time being subtraction, such as 4 students are sitting in the middle of the circle. 2 students leave the middle. How many students are left sitting in the circle? I will then ask the students to model this again. Since 4 students are already in the middle, I will ask 2 students to leave and the class to collectively solve the problem and get 2. This activity could be extended by changing the numbers to make the problems easier or harder, such as using body parts like eyes or feet for the students to count. You could also change the words in the problem to create different addition and subtraction problems. For my explicit teaching activity, I would ask students working in either small groups or individually to grab a deck of cards and remove the jokers, kings, queens, jacks and tens, letting them know that the value of ace is equal to 1. I will then give the students a number, for example 10, and ask the students to add 2 cards together to make that number. Here I used 8 and 2, 7 and 3, and 6 and 4. Alternatively or additively, whiteboard cards can be used where students draw out the problems and create their own cards. Here I drew 5 lines and then I drew another 5 lines in order to make 10. These cards can also be used for subtraction. By giving students a problem, for example 9 takes 2, students are able to model the problem by drawing it on their whiteboard cards. Here I drew 9 dots, and then once I was done I wiped off 2. This enabled me to count my dots and get my answer of 7. This activity could be extended by changing the numbers to make the problems harder or easier, or asking the students to use a specific amount of cards to reach their number. Adding picture cards back into the deck and giving them a value will make the task more difficult. You could also ask students to create a story to go with their problems they've drawn on their storyboards. Students' misconceptions can come from a lack of understanding. This can cause an inability to create meaning when performing simple algorithms. This lack of understanding of language used could cause them to use the wrong operations when solving problems. This